Well, today marks 1 year since the triple homicide that devastated Guntersville. Our Sydney Stallworth tells us how it's impacted the way Alabama handles parole.
Supporters of the victim's family have band together to redefine Alabama's parole policy. Marie Martin was looking after her great-grandson, Colton Lee, only 7 years old, in her home when they were brutally attacked and killed. After arriving on the scene, authorities went to check on a neighbor, Martha Del Relaford, only to find that she too had been killed. Their attacker? Jimmy Spencer, a man with a violent criminal history dating back decades. The violence continued even after he was behind bars. And yet he was granted parole. That's when he relocated to Guntersville and eventually robbed and killed these 3 people. A cry for change from the victims' families and supporters across the state has been answered. We sat down with the family's attorney.
There has been positive change related to the parole board, directly related to this. It was greatly strengthened. The strengthening of the parole system will help prevent someone like Jimmy Spencer, who's a career criminal, dangerous guy, from being released and hurting other people like happened in Guntersville.
New legislation has been passed in efforts to prevent criminals who could be a danger to the public from being released on parole. And a change in leadership for the Pardon and Parole Board. Judge Charles Graddick, its new executive director.
It's little consolation for these families that this positive change was made, and this change is long overdue, and it's just heartbreaking that something like this had to happen to these people.
A year later, the families of these victims and the surrounding community still shaken by this tragic loss, but hopeful for justice. Putting the Valley first, Sydney Stallworth, WZDX News.
Spencer is undergoing a mental evaluation ordered by the judge. His next status hearing will be in September.